wheels 1967 Camaro. Stick around to the end to see what it looked like and how it
we're
performed
back
on the track.
There's a whole bunch of stuff you guys missed out on the car, on Ian's project. I've just been really busy. This thing has to go. It was at the point before, but now it really has to go. Anyways. And, then there's life. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I didn't show you guys. Unfortunately, I apologize, but I was just busy and had to get things done, and I haven't been feeling that great. Still overcoming that at the moment. But we got the wingtips on. We've done, let's see. All right, so as you can see here, the wingtips have now been installed. I should have showed you guys that. I really wanted to do that, but I didn't. It wasn't difficult. We just cut the hood. We laid the wingtip on the bottom side. I calicoed it into place. This still needs some work. A little bit of heat will get this gap to come down. I also don't want that sitting right in the door either, because that's going to be an issue. But we got our door gaps. We put the fenders back on the bottom, as you can see here. Filled all the holes in. Filled the hole in for the exhaust. Put the fender back together with a little bit of grinding and some body work. This is still going to get cut off here yet. We still need to make our mount for that, but that's done. Wheel well lips are put back on. I did get some panel bond and use it. I was really happy with the job that it did. Look, a nice little radius in there. I get that nice little radius using my cake knife. If you don't use cake knives, you guys are missing out on that too. We put the turbo inlet in. It's still sticking out, but found this nice piece in the back. In the back of the mold room, there was we had these molds that Joe and I years ago went to Mike Moran's on his Monte Carlo when he put twins in the front, and we went and made some molds off of that. So I had the mold for that, so that got used for this. Scoop's looking better. Like, look at this. I laid this up on the top. Normally I don't do that. This is a first, so I'm really sorry. I just keep enunciating my words like that. But doors are on. They all work. Fill the door handles in. Again, another thing I've been trying, instead of using body, I've been using carbon fiber as filler. That's what this is, basically up here too. So it ensures that there's not going to be any seam that can crack, and you can still bodywork this area till it's smooth, and then use normal materials after that. Doors are on. Doors are swinging. Goal for today is we've been wiping stuff off the list like crazy. As you can see, I probably should have stayed longer on that, but I didn't. Doors are filled on this side. Yeah, so there's a couple complications I have that I got to deal with, unfortunately, but that's part of the game. But right now I need to get this front end mounted off. So we're going to pull the front end off. I'm going to pull the front end off. I'm going to trim off the supports for the front end because they don't touch the hood anyways, and they're right here. They're too far back. The biggest thing with the way to prevent cracking on your hoods is to support the hood. Ultimately, you want to support the hood back as far as possible. It's not obvious, because if it was, I wouldn't have to say this. Right now, the hood support is right here. It needs to be back as far as you can put it. Obviously, there's complications with everything underneath the hood where you can put that, but you need to put this back as far as possible. So it's right here. If I can get the hood to be supported right here, the amount of pressure that is on the front of this hood is amazing. So I need to support the hood somewhere in this area is my goal. And there is room. I've looked underneath. It's kind of tight on this side because the fuel cell's right here, but there's enough room that I can squeeze it through everything and move the supports back here and here. We're gonna do that. That's our first task of the day. Then we're gonna come in and I need to make a Zeus mount. You guys can't see it, but right up here I need to make a Zeus mount. Pause for a second. Okay, so like I was saying, these mounts are here. You can see they're farther away. This hood's hooked up more, so I want to move them and put them like right around in this area, and then that way I know the hood's going to be supported properly, and we're not going to have to worry about any issues with down pressure, because this car's going to go fast, right? And we'll also take the opportunity to remove some stuff that we're not going to need on here anymore to get rid of some excess weight. So that's what we're doing right now. Okay. So like I said, we're gonna reuse these. I'd like to see them somewhere, I'm thinking somewhere right around in this area. All the pressure seems to be builds up right around here in the hood from aerodynamics, from the pressure. So as you can see, these are kind of short. Oh, it's not good. But we got some 5/8 tubing here. Chromoly. So if you use any chromoly tubing that's an 058, it'll slip into the size that's a little bit smaller. So this is 1/2 inch. If it's an 1/8 of an inch difference and it's 058 wall, it will slide right in there. So this is 5/8 tubing. This is 1/2 inch tubing. It's a little bit thick. I normally would make this at an 1/8, but this will provide some monster support. So what I'm gonna do is get these tubes all cleaned up. I'm gonna get these all cleaned up, and I will cut this in half because I only need a little bit of a sleeve. The beauty part is now I can get this tacked in. I don't have to put any, I don't have to tack on to the front end against the carbon and burn all the resin out of it, which is fantastic. Happens way too much. Like this resin right here will stand like 350 degrees, but it ain't standing as much as you're gonna do while welding, even if you tack quick. So we're gonna use this as a sleeve, which will be awesome because then we have the ability to pull this back, make sure everything fits, we can tack it on, and then when we're happy, the last thing we can do is, there it is, oh, there it is, sorry. The last thing we can do is weld this joint right here after we've glued it, right? So we got all this moving around to do. I don't need to put Colecos through the hood to get this in the right spot. This will work fantastic. Okay, so we have goals achieved here. We've got studs welded on. The hood is moved and glued. Everything's been clearanced. It clears everything. That all works awesome. All right, so a couple issues we got here. I lowered the back of the door just slightly. Now I have not enough gap here. So first we're gonna open up this, and then once that's opened up, then we're gonna look at putting the rear latch in. And once that's installed, then we're gonna look at putting the handle in. And once that's installed and everything works there, then we'll go to the window installation. And then we will look at doing our upper window latch mount. And then we will switch and go to the passenger side and get that done. Then we're gonna come back, and our last couple tasks we have to do is I need to create a Zeus fastener right here. And we need to get the lower fender mounts on. So as you can see, I cut off everything that was in the way before. I need to clean all of this stuff up. Yes, clean all this stuff up, make a mount off the bottom, make a mount here, 2 Zeus fasteners here. And like I said, the one up top, and that's the last thing we have to do on this, which is crazy. This thing's gotta go. This thing has to go. So that's where we're at. We're getting after it. Away it goes. Go. Check this out. So I got my upper Zeus mount where I wanted it, right by the door. Really happy about that. Yes, I am happy about that. Actually, I should check that out for a second, see where it ends up. Ends up right there. Let me see. Ian wants to use this plate style. Please excuse the mess. Okay, so Ian wants to use this plate style. And it looks like that should be no problem. It should be right here on the edge once I put the hole through. So that'll work. It's a good spot. It's a tough spot, man. It's a tough spot to get into. As you can see, I had to disassemble the whole front of the car to get in here. But wow, I just couldn't take it. Like after 6 attempts of trying to locate this with all this stuff in the way and only having one hand, it was all I could do. So this might have to get drilled out to a bigger hole. But I'm pretty sure, actually I don't think it's gonna. The carbon is very thick in that one spot. So that should work no problem. Now, emulating this one on the other side. What a task. So I wasn't gonna videotape this, but I thought I'd show you guys. So okay. So after 10 hours of trying to do the other side to get it to match this one, I just got frustrated. I mean, we've had the front end off like 35 times.
showed you guys how much room is up in there. It's minimal. So I needed to come up with a plan. Woo! Give my brain a couple minutes to think about it, of how to recreate this. Like, it's got to look the same too, right? It's got to, I want it in the same spot, very similar spot, as close as I can get it anyways. I did find out that these Zeuses aren't, I shouldn't even talk about that, because most people won't even. I find stuff that most people won't even notice. I'm sure, you know, there will be builders out there that'll be like, you know, that's not right, and that's off by 1/8 of an inch, because my brain does that too. So we'll look at the mess here. So let me spin this thing around. It's always spinning stuff around. Look at that, there's my eyeballs. Through the terrible glasses that I need to replace for like 2 years, but. Okay, so this is what I came up with to recreate this. I made just a little jig. Of course, now the radio is gonna come back on. Of course, copyright strike. Anyways, so this is what my brain came up with last night when I was drifting off to sleep, either that or this morning when I was waking up. I made a little sheet metal jig, and now I have this angle and these angles are all the same. So I tried doing this yesterday and it was going south on me, so I just had to step away. But this is what I came up with to get the same angle. And now, once these are the same angle, then it should be much easier to recreate anyways, to make it like the other side. So that's where we're at. I just thought you guys might think that's cool. Maybe not, maybe you don't care. Maybe, I don't even know why you're here if you don't care. But if you are, thanks. Thanks, I appreciate you. Here we go, we're all welded up. Go to the other side. Just got to drill a hole on the passenger side here. We got these guys welded up, nice and simple. Nothing complex. Clearly I remember picking on the boys, seemed a harmless little. This is gonna be permanently mounted to the car. See, I'm using my welding rod as a template. As always, just debating on what size of tubing to make this. I'm really thinking I'm gonna go overkill on this bottom bar. That way, it's never gonna get, you know, you can put 1/4 inch on here, but it needs so much support that you might as well just put a heavier piece of tubing. Put a heavier piece of tubing on here, and it won't need any support. If I'm contemplating welding 1/2 inch tube just on the bottom here. This will come off the rocker sill. It'll go to this area right here. Once that's welded there, that thing is gonna be so solid, you could jack it up with a hoist. So I think that is the route that I'm going to go. That way I don't have to worry about it flexing, moving, I don't have to worry about anybody hitting it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So let's bend up a piece of 1/2 inch chromoly tube and see what that does for us. Actually, we should come in here first. First we'll come in here and we'll hit it with the grinder. And we'll clean this area all up and get this oil residue off there because, yeah, that's, ugh. TIG welder's not gonna like that. We'll get rid of the previous work and we'll get this piece bent up. Yes, sir. Say, hey now, you feel it coming, hey now. You think that I would have a hoist, but I'm not there yet. To be honest, I don't even have electricity in this shop. It's so crazy. I've just been too busy working to take care of that stuff. I grew up in the dirt though, so this is old school for me. Even though turning 54, it's getting a little old for this, I'll tell you what. This crappy tire, yeah, you guys from the States aren't used to Canadian tire, but call it crappy tire. Always have. Always will, regardless. The disc is giving up the ghost.
that tube, get that oil off of there.
So if you're welding anything like this, especially with a TIG welder, you have to clean up, just like an engine building. You know, cleanliness is next to godliness. You have to clean up any oil residue or gear lube or antifreeze, because I don't know what it is. Something about the. I'm sure someone, you know, in the comments, tell me the technical description. Tell me the technical reason why. But what happens is, as soon as you fire up the TIG, as soon as you fire up the TIG, it pulls the oil right to the weld and will contaminate your weld. Struggle is real. Look at that. It's got too much here. That's got to be like that. And that's got to be like that. And that's got to be like that. Put a straight edge across this rocker, even though the rocker's not perfectly straight. It's got an arc to it. GM was smart. That's what that is. Having illusions. I'm having illusions. Messing me up in my mind. Okay, so I want this guy to go past here. Our panel's gonna come in behind here and then have a mount plate behind it. But I still kind of want this to stick out a little bit because it will force the fender. Like once you're putting the fender on, to have this little bit round, to have that right around there. So I think that's probably where we're gonna be at. So I can mark my length, so. That's interesting. Give or take. That should be my length. So I'm gonna bend up a piece of inch and a half, or inch and a half. Yeah, we're gonna use inch and a half tubing to do this. Not at all, we're gonna do ½ inch. I just so happen to have a piece of ½ inch right here. Bring this over and we'll do it on the bench. Hey now, hey now. Come and check out my dirty bench. Okay, that's what it reads. We're still not done with that, guys, so we're not going to put it away, even though we should, because we're creating a mess. Oh, I just turned Now, how much tubing is it going to take to make this bend? That is the question. Oh yeah. So 10 3/8 to the center of the bend. And 11 3/4 to the center of the bend. So this piece is amply long enough. We'll sacrifice some tubing to make it. We're gonna start it right there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna start, that's where we're gonna put it in. No. Man, that was almost a massive brain fart. Okay, that was almost catastrophic. So I'm thinking that it's gonna take, well, here, let's do this. Let's see this tech piece. Yeah, that's almost. No, that's exactly the same. Look at that. So this is why you don't throw your pieces out. So this is, I don't know what this was, but it's in my scrap box. But it is almost the exact same angle as this. I don't know if you guys can see that, but check this out. So here's the angle we're looking for. Look at that lines up perfect. So now we know how much tubing it's gonna take to make that bend, but then look at the shape. We're losing all of this straight edge that we wanted as that fender support. So, I don't know what to do there. Well, a little more up, a little up. Okay. Yeah, so this is beauty. So here's the start of the bend. I don't know if you can see it, but right here the tube is shiny, and it actually puts a small indentation in the tube. You can feel it with your thumb. So it's right there. So in order to make this bend, it is going to take, this is high tech, this is called my Bend Tech software right here. It's going to take 5 1/8 inches of material to make that bend. So if our center of our bend is here, and it's going to take that much, then we need half of that, which would be 2 1/2, 2 9/16. Should be at the start of our bend. Let's see if this is accurate. 9/16 is over half. It's right there. Yeah, I think that looks legit. You know what? We have some extra tubing. What we're going to do is move this down 1 inch, just so we have room to play. I'd rather do this once. It's not like the good old days where this tubing was like a couple bucks a foot, $1.85 a foot, and you could make mistakes. Everything's so expensive now. Okay, actually, just for curiosity's sake, let's stick this guy in here and see how far the bend goes. That's it. That's all of it. Huh. Why is this thing not flexing like it's supposed to? Okay, so that appears to be, it's probably going to be 90, it's just like 120 degrees. Remember, do the second one. It appears that I don't know how to use my tools. Let's see how this bends. Where it broke. Piece in there. What the fuck? Oh, did you see that? That just fuck. I didn't even do anything. It broke that right out. What the French toast? Well, that's awesome. See that? Okay, look at that. Broke it right out of there. Look at, it's also been welded before. Okay, well, there we go. Oh. Okay, dude, we are like, dude. You ever watch a guy catfish? Do some Cajun cooking. Okay, so that means, basically, we got this thing. It's just slightly forward where we wanted it, but now it fits the bottom of the it fits in here. It's fitting here. It's actually touching there, like we talked about, which would be great for strength. It's almost in just slightly north of our grind area, so we can clean that up and that'll work. We also need to fit this too. Yeah, I think this thing's awesome. Again, it's a little heavy duty, but I'd rather that be heavy duty than the other way around. Yeah, so now we need to fit this tube. I think we almost have this piece, which would be phenomenal if something actually worked the first time. What I did there was just trace the shape of the tube onto my small tube. And I'll go touch this up with the bench grinder. Probably can just do it right here with this guy. That's what I'm doing. Because that's what I always do. Yeah, this is just in a little too far. GoPro, stop recording. You saw earlier how we were looking at this tube. Well, now we got this tube tacked into place. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, this thing is going to be bulletproof. It's solid. Everything is square, everything is level, everything looks fantastic. And now I put my quarter panel piece, or my lower quarter panel piece on right here. Getting that into place, body lines look amazing. So now I'm gonna build the upper tube. Now I have the template, but we're working on bending that up. But you will see that in a minute. So you won't see the process, but you'll see me fit it anyways. Okay, here we are. Okay, we always start with okay. Okay. Here is, this area is, it's not done yet. I still have to, so I don't like the people when they Zeus the panels on. I know it's for ease, but how many times do you take this panel off? Like I would prefer to either have it glued on, but this one, because of the exhaust the way it is, I decided to machine screw the panel on. So you won't see it, it'll be in the carbon flange and underneath the rockers, so you won't even see them, but there's gonna be 4 machine screws in these holes here. And that's really the only thing I have left to do here, and then fit this bottom side of the fender. And please believe me when I say that the struggle was real. Very testing, trying to the point where defeat, we were almost there, but that's normal, this happens. It happens in this kind of stuff. Anyways, we're positive, we're moving forward, and like I said, this area is almost done. I'm just gonna take a break and then we'll get to the other side. So hopefully it's all figured out and the other side's easy, right? It's the way it's supposed to go. We'll see. Beautiful day outside today. Okay, this bottom section is done. This is the driver's side. I guess I remember how I said I made that panel removable. You can see the little 632 screws in there. Got the exhaust fitted. I made it so the exhaust can actually come out of the car without having to unbolt everything and remove everything. I think that's better, but that's just me. Door works, everything works. Let's see if I can get a good view there. There we go. Yeah. Door doesn't hit nothing. So that was successful enough, so we proceeded to this side. So this side is all ready to go. Here's the bare frame. Of course, there's variances on every car, a little bit of variances, so it's almost exactly the same. It's as close as I could get it. It's as close as I could get it. Get it? It's as close as I could get it. I digress. Anyways, all right, so I am gonna weld this up. That is my next plan here. I'm going to weld this up right now. My GoPro's been acting up on me, so I apologize for not having fabrication footage. But this is where it's at, a little phone update. And yeah, let's get this welded up and then we can get on to the next. That is the so plan. Nice to be blessed. Hey, where are you going, dog? Here we go, I keep trying to chase her down. But people have been asking. People have been asking if Skrill's still kicking, and here she is. She's still kicking. Surprisingly, hey Skrill, we check you about 4 times a day to see if you're still alive. But she is. Skrill's an old girl. She's 14 now. Is that right? She just got her spring shave, so she's actually feeling pretty chipper for an old girl who can't stand up and takes naps all day and forgets that she went in and out of the house 17 times. But she's still here, Blake. Anyways, I just thought I would interject with that. What a beautiful day. Who wants to work on a day like this? Only silly fools. Only silly fools like me and Mark Stein. Big widescreen view. Okay, look at this. The front end is coming, man. Like, we're getting this thing Zeus down. We got 4 Zeuses at the top, springs in them and everything. We have something to address. Oh, on this side. I don't know where you're going. Yeah, wow. Okay. Chill out, man. Yeah. There we go. All right, so the next step we have here. Let's try this. Okay, next step we were doing. So we've got, this side is now all Zeused on. I even got the plates Ian wants to use, and they fit perfect with the springs. Right now we have this door gap is way too tight, so the door won't even open. So that is our next task, is to get this so the door functions. Looks really good. Body line's a little low there, but we've got the bodywork guy to take care of that. Anyways, let's work on that right now. So, I'm gonna see if I can get this close up for you guys. Check it out without disturbing everything. Okay, so the issue I'm having is right here when you open the door, this area right here is rubbing on the bottom of the fender. So what I'm gonna do, see our gap is now, it's about a little bit 1/8 to 3/16 there. What I'm gonna do is stick this piece of carbon in here. So we want to, nope, wrong way, sorry. Whoop, 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 can I get a, oh yeah, I'm turned too much, there we go. Okay, there we go. Sure, that's working. So this area right here is sitting too low and it's rubbing the door when I open the door. So what I'm gonna do, and this area is sitting up too high. So what I'm gonna do is jam this piece of carbon underneath here, if I can. Well, if I had 2 hands, I could probably do that, but I don't because I'm holding this thing. And that thing's all crooked to no way out, whatever. Okay, pulling you guys away. You can't get the close, this is your close up. You get to see it, that's it. I'm gonna jam this piece of carbon under here. I'm gonna get the heat gun out because the resin that I use in here is malleable, and this will do whatever I want. So I'm getting the heat gun out, which I don't think is over here, and I'm gonna lift this up and put this down, and then that should fix that problem. Okay, we're gonna hold that up. See? So obviously you want to think about where you want this to bend, right? So this, we got this nice radius in here, we'll kind of bring it up into here. We'll have to go past the point. Get it there. This doesn't need to be smoking hot, it needs to be like as hot as steel is when you put it out in the sun. Put a piece of chromoly out in the sun, you know how hot it gets? Kind of like that. Probably almost good. If you heat it up too much, it will melt the resin right out of the part and will distort the twill of the carbon or fiberglass or whatever you're using there. So this should be good. Come on. All right, so we got Ian Hill's car is going home. Thank goodness. It's about time, but that's all my fault. Anyway, she's looking pretty sexy. Can't wait to see it all in one color. That'll, right now she's 50 shades of gray. It looks like Otis's car. Yes, and I'm super happy with how this turned out. There's Dave Hill. The mastermind behind Ian, Brian George. Yeah, I'm really happy, man. It turned out really good. It's going to the body shop, so we didn't get a chance to, normally this would leave all primered up, but I didn't get a chance to do that because time constraints. It's just gotta go, but fits really well. Doors open up nice, front end looks good, fits the windshield awesome. This scoop is just, so stoked with how it turned out. Turbo inlet looks great, headlights filled in. They're kind of crappy looking now, but I'll just move faster so you can't see that. Yeah, so there we're at. Thanks for watching Fat Dog Garage. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Click on the notifications so when you know my next video comes up. Peace out. All right, so here we are. Ian Hill's finished hot rod. Let's check it out. Jay Gallant at Priority Collision is the reason this car looks so good. We gave him the canvas and he brought it to life. Yeah, I gotta say, this is one of the sexiest 68s. It's looking good. Get some video of this thing working on the track, see how it all comes together.